So for this video, I want to speak very shortly about how J. Cole thought he would take shots at Kendrick Lamar and for some reason trans folks, and it doesn't fully seem to be working out in his favor. I mean, of course you've got his ride or dies like, oh man, hell yeah, Jermaine, you go for that XBYC folk. And really on Twitter especially and blogs, they're just like, oh yeah, this guy sucks. So J. Cole just dropped his Might Delete Later surprise album or whatever, and on this album he somehow managed to diss Kendrick Lamar and trans people. Now the Kendrick thing is for another video, another day, but I really need to focus on this trans thing because I just really didn't expect it from him. And let me just say something real quick before we get into this. I personally am not going to pick a side between these two things at all. I did think it was insane for J. Cole to say what he said, but as a straight male, I'm not super offended by what he said, but I can definitely understand why people are upset about what he said. Sorry if that was confusing. Let's get into it though. Is you a demon or is that demeanor for the gram? Tell us. They plead the fifth. I'm seeing hints of a trans fella. In the cancer culture's vicinity, he's no killer, trust me. Beneath his chosen identity, there is still a pussy, period. So, couple things here. First of all, this is exactly why I don't listen to Cole all that much, because I get that this is probably hard to some of y'all, but I don't know. I'm not trans or whatever, but I mean, this is definitely disrespectful for sure for those guys or girls. He definitely put it together in the way he usually puts his bars together though, I'll say that. Now, obviously people are definitely upset because what he's basically alluding to is that even if you identify as a man when you're a woman, there is still a pussy, period. Now, it's crazy because I've seen people saying that even past the transphobia, the bars just suck, which is so funny to me. I never thought I'd see Jermaine get demolished by social media like this, but we are really in a different time. It's super interesting. Like I said earlier, I'm not even remotely going to make the mistake of picking a side in all this, but listening to this entire album, I do just want to say that it seems like on almost all the J. Cole songs, it really just seems like he chose to speak his mind throughout this entire project. Now, I want y'all to remember something if you didn't already know, and just follow along with me. J. Cole is 39 years old. This man was born in 1985. I mean, this man was born in a very, very, very different time where what he said on his song wouldn't have even gotten looked at or ridiculed if all this shit 10 years earlier. Like, let's be honest, we're in the age of the internet, and this community that he's pissed off definitely has become stronger over the past 10 years. I mean, do y'all remember the stuff that Tyler used to rap about? This is the same project where he dissed Kendrick Lamar, which is really something because usually both of these artists don't really have too much to say sending shots wise, but lately they've been putting their cards on the table. I don't even really think they're going back and forth at each other as hard as they really could. The more I listen to the actual diss song, I kind of just feel like it was a cop-out, but even if they were fully going at each other, I just find it so funny to see how the world is freaking out about it. Like, why do we care so much? The trans thing I can understand, I guess, but it's like, what the hell? Look at these tweets. J. Cole, transphobic. Kendrick makes a personal song about how he came to accept and understand trans people. I know who's a better rapper. My whole timeline is slandering J. Cole, and I could cry right now. I'm so happy. So it seems like people who already had a disdain for Jermaine are coming out of the woodwork to hate on him, and a transphobic bar was all they really needed to have a justifiable reason for publicly disliking him. I just find that interesting. Of course, XXL being on everything hip-hop related so fast already has an article out. Let's take a look at this. J. Cole faces backlash for transphobic lyric on new project. You know how XXL is, they're just fucking on it every time. The article is just doing what I'm doing right now and reading disappointed tweets from fans like, J. Cole, you have trans fans and you are letting them down. Now, this girl actually made a lot of sense right here, and she said, J. Cole using trans bars against Kendrick is not smart considering Kendrick had a whole song dedicated to his trans family members on his last album. He told us his auntie is a man now and he popped off on the pastor for bothering his cousin. So not very smart. Sad, actually. And yeah, that's actually a really good point. I don't know, Jermaine, you're definitely in the hot seat right now. It's looking rough. The crazy thing though is that literally everyone is going to forget about this in, I give it a week, maybe less. It really depends on how much Jermaine decides to play into this, or if he wants to go the smart route and just shut his mouth until everybody forgets about it. It's hip hop. Something crazy is going on literally every other day. He's not gonna lose money or his connections because of this. He'll probably be fine. man. I mean, look at Diddy. He's still fine, and that dude is literally insane. Anyway, I'm UVXCX. This is the quickest. Later.